Section 37 of the Fables of Pilpay. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. The Fables of Pilpay by Anonymous, translated by Abdullah Ibn al-Muqaffa and Joseph Harris. Fable 4. A Hermit Who Quitted the Desert to Live at Court. There was once in a remote part of his Majesty's, my hitherto most gracious master, dominions, a certain hermit who had renounced the pleasures of the world and led a very austere life in a wilderness. His virtue, in a small time, made such a noise in the world that an infinite number of people flocked every day to visit him, some out of curiosity and others to consult him upon several different matters. The fame of this hermit's wisdom and virtue spread every day more and more. The king of the country, who was very devout, and who loved all virtuous and worthy men, no sooner understood that there was in his kingdom a person of so much knowledge and goodness, but he rode to see him, made him the noble present, and desired that he might hear some of his learned and virtuous exhortations. On this desire of the monarch, the hermit began, and laid before him a most glorious scene of true knowledge. "Sir," said he, "the Almighty Governor of the universe has two habitations, the one perishable, which is the world, the other eternal, which is the abode of the blessed hereafter. It is not for your Majesty, therefore, to dote upon the felicities of the earth. You ought to aspire to those eternal treasures, the meanest part which is of a nobler value than all the principalities of the world. Try then, sacred sir, with earnestness, to attain the possession of those eternal blessings, and you shall not lose the reward of your endeavors." The monarch, on this, demanded by what assiduities they might be acquired. "By a series of virtuous actions alone," replied the hermit, "particularly by relieving the poor and succoring the distressed. For of this be ever mindful, all princes that desire to enjoy eternal repose must labor to give temporal tranquillity to their subjects." The king was so taken with this discourse that he took up a resolution to spend some hours with this good hermit every day, and so for the present he returned to his palace. Long continued he every day his visits to this oracle of truth. Among the rest, one day, as the king and the hermit were together in the hermitage, they saw a confused multitude of people thronging toward them and rendering the air with the loud cries of "Justice! Justice!" The hermit went to the door of the cave, and bade them draw near, examined them, and having understood their differences, made a quick and peaceful accommodation between them, sending them all away, praying for 1,000 blessings on him. The king, upon this, admiring the hermit's prudence and dispatch, desired him that he would favor him so far as, for the sake of the public good, sometimes to leave his tranquil abode for a few hours, and be present in his councils. The hermit readily agreed to this, believing he might be beneficial to the poor, and after this was frequently in those assemblies, and the king ever pronounced his decrees according to his judgment, insomuch that at length he became so necessary that nothing was done in the kingdom without his advice. The hermit, now beginning to find that men made their addresses to him, began to forget his determined solitude and humility, and soon took upon him the rank and quality of chief minister, to which end he provided himself with a rich livery and a numerous train. He now forgot his austerities, his penances, and his prayers, and looking upon himself as one that would be greatly missed in the government, took great care of his own person, lay soft, and fed upon the most exquisite dainties, and the king, who was very well satisfied with the hermit, let him do as he pleased, and in short discharged upon his shoulders the whole burden of his cares. One day another hermit, a friend to him that lived at court, coming to visit his brother, with whom he had frequently spent whole nights in prayer, and whole days in fasting and penitence, was astonished to see him arrayed in costly habits and environed with a great number of servants. Reserving his patience, however, till night locked up all the court in dark retirement, when all was hushed, He accosted the courtier hermit in the most pathetic manner. "Oh, my dear friend," said he, "in what a condition do I find you? What a strange alteration is this, and what is now become of all the sanctity that you used to pretend to?" The court hermit would fain have excused himself by saying that he was constrained to keep so great a train, but his brother, who was a person of wit and judgment, said, "These excuses are the dictates of sensuality. I see that wealth and preferment have enchanted your devotion. What demon has put you out of conceit with your praying life, and why, forgetting the duties of a retired station, do you here prefer noise before silence, and tumult before ease?" "Think not," answered the court hermit, "that the business of the court is any hindrance to me from continuing my devotions. No, brother, I continue them with more than wonted fervor, and hourly return my humble thanks to heaven for placing me in a station where I may do good to the world." "You deceive yourself," replied the brother hermit, "to think that your prayers can be heard while you are environed with the cares and pomps of the world, as they were when holy and heavenly duties took up all your time. No, no, I adjure you, therefore, take my advice, break these chains of gold that bind you to the court, and return to your desert. Otherwise, be assured, you will at last meet with the cruel destiny of the blind man who despised the counsel of his friend." End of section 37.